Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of That's a Fact.
Always be yourself, no matter what.
Lo-fi intuition and experience. You are liberated in the freedom of your pleasure and your pain.
And I design joy. And that's a fact.
And that's a fact.
And that's a fact.
The universe transcending men upon this earth. Cause what I give is what I die for. And what I spit's what you get high for. I'm in a position you cannot apply for. Yeah, I'm on a trip you could only ride for.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of That's a Fact. I'm your host, Kirsty Adams, and this episode we are talking all things rap.
Hey, hello.
Shout out to everybody. So, Nyota, without further ado, tell us about yourself.
Hi, well, firstly, thank you for having me. I'm really amped. But yeah, I'm Nyota Parker. I'm 21 now. Yeah. I am a rapper, a singer, songwriter, poet. I skate as well, skateboard. And yeah, I make music for the masses. My message is all about not conforming to society and just being an individual. I've always just kept that message very close to my heart, just based on how I grew up in such multicultural and diverse family and friend group. And I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa. But although I'm Congolese and Irish, I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa my entire life, and I'm currently in New York, stuck because of the pandemic and life. Yes.
And that's it. Not to mention the fire rap verses that you keep creating. And
thank you.
Yeah, I've been listening to your music since last year, and it's just epic. It's just rejuvenating. It's empowering.
I appreciate it.
I like what's going on with your hair though. Like this whole, I just love, it's like Nyota only identity. It's just so, yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I tried to experiment a lot. It was first green, then it faded out. So I need to put green again. But since then I started putting like random temporary colors like pink and whatever. So yeah.
Nice stuff. Okay, well, as you know, everybody that follows, everyone that doesn't yet, whether you know it or not, we always go into what is called a question round. I'm the question master. I'll be asking Nyota straight on, full up questions. She can answer however she wants. Let's do this thing. Right, so here we go. Question one.
Yeah.
How do you identify?
How do I identify? So, are we speaking gender-wise or just like in general, just like vague?
As a person.
I mean, as a person, I identify as a nonconformist, and I just mean that in every sense of the word. Like, I would just say a nonconformist. I've always described myself as that.
That's epic. That's
just
epic.
It's just straight to the point, because there's so many ways that I could, translate that saying in terms of my daily life, and that could go on forever. So just that one word, two words, nonconformist. I'll just leave it at that.
So the next question is, what was the first thing that got you into rap?
Got me into rap. Well, before that, I was already very heavily into music and just like singing, playing around. But then when I came to South Africa when I was 5, and my whole family was staying here, I remember my uncles used to pick me up from school sometimes if my mom was like working a bit late, and this one uncle of mine would Papi, and he would play just a bunch of the top, new rap, hip hop songs or whatever. And I would listen, I would memorize the lyrics and be like, yo, who is this? I'll do my research here and there. And that really got me into that and got me thinking like, yo, I can write like this as well. Especially after listening to a lot of female MCs and stuff like Nicki Minaj, who really inspired me because she was dominating. in a male-dominated industry and stuff. So I started writing my own stuff over her beats, and then I really got like heavily into it properly in 2016 when I was 16. So yeah.
Nice. So the next question is, can rap be learned, or is it something that just comes naturally?
Especially like anything can really be learned. I feel like anyone can learn how to rhyme. Anyone can learn how to rhyme and how to like put together a decent flow, or learn a structure of a song, a rap song or any song in general. So I think that can definitely be learned. Maybe not necessarily the passion. Like you can't learn passion though. You can't, the passion behind it is always what comes naturally. So maybe the lyrics wouldn't come as naturally to you if you're just trying to learn how to rhyme, how to flow, how to be clever and witty within your music. So yeah, that kind of thing can be learned, but having that passion and that like true lyricism behind that, I don't think that part can be learned. Like putting your whole like heart and soul behind like a concept of a song, behind a whole concept of a verse or whatever, So there's always two sides of it. You can learn how to make a brand of yourself. You can learn how to, brand yourself as a rapper or rap artist or something. But there's certain elements that really just has to come naturally,
I like that. Oh, I'm burning to talk, but shut up.
Okay, so I can see it.
The next question is, what is the most beautiful thing about rapping?
The most beautiful thing about rapping, I feel like it's the wordplay. Like in terms of the art itself, like the craft itself, I think it's the wordplay, being able to tell your story in a different way. Like you have to you have to widen your vocabulary so much for you to tell a specific story of your life or a specific concept. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, because you get to tell people about a specific thing in a way that they would never expect, in a way that your audience or just people in general would never expect. I love wordplay when it comes to rap, because there's so many ways that you can translate a specific word or saying, and I love seeing everyone's perspective on what you're saying, because I've heard people come to me and be like, yo, I got this from this one line, and then a different person comes to me and says, I got this from this exact same line, and it's two completely different things. And I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Nice. Next question is, what do you think is the biggest stigma of rap?
The biggest stigma when it comes to rap, I would say people's stereotyping when it comes to the content within rap, such as people view it as such a violent or like vulgar kind of thing, especially when it comes to female rap. I think there's a lot more of that controversy when it comes to female rap more than male rap, actually. But there's so much to be said about that, which I'm sure we're gonna talk about within the discussion time. But I think it's definitely more within like the female rap community.
Okay, so does rap ever get political for you, and how?
I mean, yeah, definitely gets political. It varies from artist to artist, topic to topic, but rap has always been a very political art form since its birth. It was made for revolution. Like that's literally the upcoming of rap, especially it all started with. Well, it didn't completely start with that, but the beginning had a bunch of police brutality, stuff attached to that with the whole NWA, and up until now, people still we still talk about that within our raps and are still stereotyped because of the kind of art that we do in communities that we're involved in. So that's very political. What's more political than like the justice system, So yeah, it's very political to me, but also it doesn't have to. It has that power. That versatility. But yeah.
That's good to hear. Right. So what is your favorite thing about the rap industry?
Favorite thing? I would say just on a more light-hearted note, just the community. I really enjoy just being a part of a community where everyone is not always like-minded, but we're all there for the same thing. If we're passionate about music, and we all know what we want, and we all know what we're going for. We all know the process of what it takes to write a song and hype up a crowd and be part of ciphers and things like that. I just love the community behind it and the support that you get from your fellow hip-hop artists. That's my favorite part about a lot of industries. In fact, even when it comes to skateboarding, the community is what really makes it a fun place to be in.
I'm gonna put a sub question there and ask you to explain to the audience what a cipher is.
A cipher, basically, obviously I don't have the textbook definition, but a cipher is just where a group of MCs, doesn't even have to be just an MC or be a poets and all of that. A group, more than two people coming together, rhyming over the same beat, or whether it's a cappella, it could be a similar concept, a similar beat, a similar, I don't know, but it's just fun. People just taking a turn by turn, rapping, coming up with ideas, networking. But the exact thing is just coming together, rhyming over the same beat.
Right. That sounds epic. Last question is, what is your next goal for your own rap career?
Next goal. So I'm not sure if anyone's been getting the teasers that I've been trying to put out on social media, but there is a project coming, and I need for this one to be epic, be a big release. So there's a few things that's going to be coming with this next project that will be dropping this year later. So yeah, my next goal is that, and having a few collaborations with people that I look up to in the music industry. So that's some of my next goals, as well as coming back to SA for a few really cool shows that will put not only myself but as well as a few other local artists on to much bigger platforms. So there's going to be a few great doors being opened. I'm really excited for that.
That's good to hear.
I'm glad.
Nyota, what's it like living in New York as a rapper, as a South African Congolese-Irish rapper?
Oh yeah, it's it's hectic. I mean, when I first came here, end of 2019, it was ridiculous because first of all there was no pandemic, so it was just free for all, everything, open mics everywhere, connecting with so many people within a week, gaining support and just contacts from important people that you didn't even know were important, because everyone is in this small hub, this community where you're just gonna keep on bumping into the same people involved with events and whatever. So I loved that when I first came here, and then when the pandemic hit, it got a bit less hectic, but things moved online, and it's being here still benefited me because I was still able to go to smaller shows, intimate shows, perform, go do live streams, be part of the movements that was happening last year. Because I mean, there was the whole police brutality and BLM stuff that was happening. It still happens, you know, but yes, last year was a lot more amplified. And I think that was very important. So I was happy to be a part of that movement. And
that's great.
Yeah.
Being in the midst of all of that, but I mean, in the midst of all the police brutality, you know, protests, did you do anything with rap to be able to counter this at all?
Well, yeah, I mean, besides the rap and stuff, I did go to a bunch of the protests within like Manhattan and Harlem and everywhere. But also I put out just a few hard-hitting pieces, a poem on YouTube, as well as just my Instagram. Nothing to profit off of, obviously. It was just something that was on my heart. So I just put that out on an Instagram. And then I think my Transcend video as well, which I posted, like, that was earlier on before everything started.
Transcend
last year.
is a hit.
Thank you. So that one that I put out, I think it caught the attention of this one YouTuber who was doing this thing. What is it called? Where she was donating all the revenue from the streams of that video, and she was donating it to a few causes to do with BLM. So she gained over like 10 million views on that, and all the revenue went to BLM, and the whole video was her featuring a bunch of Black artists. So she put my video on there, she put a bunch of other amazing Black artists on there. Jennifer Lewis was doing a poem. It was pretty cool, and a lot of people also came to my page. So she did a lot of good, not only that YouTuber, she did a lot of good, not only you know, giving the revenue to these causes, but also she drove, like, I don't know, millions of people to all of us small Black creatives. And through that, I gained like a bunch of different supporters from everywhere. That really helped me as well. So that was amazing to be a part of that. Yeah.
That's so great. Like you mentioned something profound about rap music being political because it started political, you know? So it's almost like, I mean, me speaking as a POC myself, you know, like I resonate with how something started as political and still is political, but you can evolve the way it comes across politically, you know? And I think people should rather see it now as, you know, I don't know how you would see it, but it's almost like it's evolved to the point where it's like, okay, this type of musical art is there to empower those that have started it and those that have been, you know, inherited it for now, you know? I don't know if you feel the same.
No. I'm definitely on board. I'm just listening as well as what you're saying. I'm definitely on the same wavelength.
Yeah. You said something about, you know, how on the one hand, how rap comes naturally, but if it's your passion, but you can also learn rap, you know, and I don't know, but there are some people that think that, you know, rap is only for one kind of person, but it's like you said, if it's your passion, then it can be learned very easily. Anything in this life can be learned if you have a passion for it. And it's amazing how this art form that, you know, started with one type of person has become universally spread. And what I wanted to ask you on that is whether you think this is fair, whether you think this is the way to go, whether you think it should be preserved, whether you think it should, like, you know, do you think that rap is losing its culture, or do you think it is evolving, you know, or as you say, transcending.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I think mainly when I was saying like you can learn, I think what I mainly meant is just like the actual act of rhyming. You know what I mean? Like you can learn like, oh yeah, this rhymes with this, and you can flow like that, and then maybe you can write a few lines and stuff, and it can sound like cool. Like you can, like anyone can learn the actual how do I put it? You know what I mean? Like anyone can learn just how to do those,
the technicalities.
Like, those basics and stuff. That's mainly what I meant for that. But if what you said about there's like rap is mainly for like one type of person, that actually that speaks more on what I was trying to say about the passion, because for you to be an actual artist, make it a craft, you have to have a passion behind that, fueling it. And you know, through that, I think definitely I think it's not losing its culture, because there's so many artists that people commercially don't know of that are keeping it alive. It's just what's commercial out there. You know, it's still great. I love listening to, you know, all types of also commercial music or whatever, even though my preference is more conscious and whatever, but people can still have fun. I don't think it's unfair that people can learn and have fun with rhyming and then, you know, making it their living. But also I feel like there needs to just be a balance as well. There needs to be a balance with you know, like a good example is like the BET ciphers and the double XL freshman ciphers and stuff. The way those things started off, having people like Busta Rhymes in the ciphers really speaking, until now. I'm not gonna name anyone recently. It's kind of it loses its depth when that is the only thing televised. When you know what I mean? When these kinds of lyricists and stuff are televised, it loses its depth. When right now, the artists that are out right now, that's the only thing that is kind of shown on these BETs and double XLs and I mean, it's so dope to have fun on your hip-hop songs or whatever, because there's still an element of, you know, just chilling and freedom and stuff. It doesn't have to be serious. But that's just how I feel. but you know, it's freedom. It's really just freedom. You can feel free to do whatever, just respect where it comes from.
I guess it's freedom and curiosity, don't you think? Because if you're passionate about something, you're curious enough to, you know, cultivate it and shape and shift it as much as you want. And speaking on that, yeah, totally. And speaking on that, I'm hearing you mention a lot of ciphers, and between South Africa and America, did you attend more ciphers in South Africa or more ciphers in the US?
Definitely in South Africa. I mean, because I've only been here for like 2 years in the States, and half of it has been enclosed, you know, at home, quarantine. But in South Africa, there's been definitely more ciphers, just like random ones that I would even come up with on the street with, you know, my friends and cousins and whatever. But yeah, there's also this group called Legendary Ciphers. They hold ciphers by this place called Union Square every Friday from like 7 p.m. to midnight.
Oh wow!
Super cool. Like, they're amazing.
I have good memories in Union Square.
Yeah, Union Square is insane.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah,
that's so cool.
I really like it. Yeah, they do these ciphers. I used to go to some of them. There's ciphers and like people rapping everywhere all the time. Yeah, as you would have seen. So
That's so
Yeah.
amazing. Did you find yourself growing more in these ciphers? And would you encourage that for anyone that is wanting to be a rapper one day?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely grew a lot in ciphers. Like,
and how?
I mean, whether you're freestyling or you're coming with a few written verses, it doesn't matter, because you get to network with so many people, and then you get to learn how to improvise. Like, improvising is so important. Even if you suck at freestyling, like myself, I always rap.
Whoa, something just came up there.
Oh yeah, I always let everyone know. I always, like, everyone who knows me knows that I don't freestyle like that, because I'm not good at coming up with stuff on the spot. So I write a bunch of random verses all the time. Like random verses that can go over any beats. And I just rap them, whether it's a cappella or I switch them up. I change the flow a bit of them sometimes, depending on like the.
So either way, even if you come with a written verse, like it still teaches you to improvise, because you can never know what beat's gonna come for you, or like so it definitely helps, and just network with so many different artists. Like everyone there and participating in a cypher is pretty much there for the same thing as you. So there'll be some cocky people here and there, but like people are just there to have fun and to possibly get their foot in the door. Maybe there's some A&R or something, in the crowd.
Nyota, it's been wonderful chatting to you. I think we've been educated so much on the topic of rap, and we're so excited to see what else you come up with, because at this point in time, I can honestly say that your repertoire is just immaculate, and it's so
Thank you.
It's so deep and soulful and true. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're gonna sign this episode off with our tradition of stating affirmations to yourself, to the world, whoever you want to state it to. So I'm gonna start off by saying that you can learn anything that you're passionate about, and that's a fact.
Ooh,
over to you, Nyota.
yeah. Signing off. You are enough. That's a fact.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nyota.
Wishing and experience. You are liberated in the freedom of your pleasure
And I design joy. And that's a fact.
And that's a fact.
And that's a fact.